well, and today I have a very special video by special request. So my dear friend Charmaine asked me to make a video about how to stay healthy when you're like at work, on the road, when you're really busy and you work all day and you're driving around and you have your commute and you have your kids and you have to do this and you have to do that. What do? How do you make healthy choices? So I know it's hard to do. I'm busy, you're busy, and that McDonald's, man, it is cheap, it is easy, and it is like, it's right there, right? Like it's on your ride home, it's on your way to work, it's everywhere. So I have 10 tips. We're gonna start with tip number 10 and work our way to number 1, which is the best tip ever. So stick around for that. All right, 10. One day, one thing at a time. That's my tip. So I'm kind of an all or nothing, cold turkey, dive in kind of person, and what I found with that is that I dive in, I get to doing stuff, and I fail, and then I give up on everything. So that doesn't work. So even when I became vegan, like I quit meat and dairy and eggs overnight, but I still had oil, I still drank soda. Like I had to phase that stuff out because it's not an all or nothing kind of situation. So just pick something. Like today, instead of eating breakfast at Burger King, I'm gonna do something different. Or, you know, on Mondays, I'm gonna pack and bring my lunch because Monday's easy because I have time to prepare on Sunday. Or whatever it is for you. So one day, one thing at a time, and just make a goal sheet. Make a list of things that you'd like to change. Okay, which leads right to number 9. Tip 9. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. So no, you know what you do. I mean, of course there's things that come up or circumstances that change, but you know for the most part what you do. So you're like, okay, I leave for work at this time, I go to lunch at this time, I get home at this time, Wednesday I have a work meeting, you know, Tuesday night the kids have baseball, whatever it is, you know. And you can plan around that. You can say to yourself, and I'm gonna write a blog post about this week. You can I just make a little calendar and I have breakfast, lunch for the kids, dinner, snacks. And I just write in there what I think I'd like to have every day that week. And so Tuesday, well, Tuesday's not my day, Wednesday I work at night. And so on Wednesday, it's always like a leftover meal, or it's something that can be easily put in the crock pot or prepared ahead. And that way I don't have to think. And the kids know, man, they run to that list. I never hear what's for dinner. They're like, what's for dinner? We're gonna look at the list. It works really well. And it helps keep you on track. And do I ever deviate from it? Heck yeah, I do. But it gives me a guide of what I'm gonna do. And it helps keep me on track with healthy choices. So to help facilitate that, pick a day and cook. Pick a day, whatever day works best for you. So I like Sundays. So Sunday I make a ton of rice, right? Like I make a huge thing of rice because rice stores really well in the freezer, it stores really well in the refrigerator, and brown rice, you can eat it and it's super healthy and you can eat it all the time. I also make a huge pot of beans. I, you know, make the snacks that my kids are gonna have in their lunch that week, do some baking, or I might make some homemade applesauce or whatever it is. I kind of do that prep ahead. You know, you can even make oatmeal ahead and put it in individual sized containers in the fridge and have it for that whole week. So how easy is that? It usually takes me like 2 to 4 hours, you know, and it's not constant 4 hours standing at the stove. A lot of times it's, you know, doing other things and kind of keeping an eye on stuff. So if you don't like to cook, that's okay. We can go back to tip number 10, pick one thing, right? Rice. Rice is easy. You don't even have to think about it. You put it on the oven. I make brown rice. It takes about 40 minutes, and 40 minutes later I come back and voila! And then I can put it in my Tupperware and keep it in my fridge, and then I have that. And having the brown rice in the fridge is super helpful because as the week goes on, I may say, well, let's make stir fry with whatever's left in the refrigerator, right? Well, then you can just throw the brown rice in with that. Or if you say, we're just having beans and rice for dinner tonight, or whatever, it works. So that is my tip number 8. Pick a day and cook on that day. Tip number 7. This is kind of a biggie. It's my tip for life in general. Track your food. So I use Cronometer. I'll put a link down below. Track your food. And don't beat yourself up about it, but track it. So for example, I am really trying to stop drinking caffeine. I have my own reasons. Maybe I'll make a video about it later, but I don't want to drink caffeine anymore. And so, and I've been trying to quit, and I've been kind of replacing it with lemonade. So I track my food. I don't track my food every day anymore. I used to, but now I do about 3 days a week. So I put everything that I eat and I drink into Cronometer. And I was like, holy cow, I drink so much lemonade. Like, what was I thinking, right? And then I realized that maybe, you know, it's good that I've used lemonade as a replacer, but I'm also going to need to, you know, moderate that consumption. But it will show you what you're doing and what you're eating and where you can make changes. It's like a budget, right? When you make a budget for your money and you keep track of every dollar that you're spending and you overspend every month in your clothing budget, well then you know either you need to cut back on the number of clothes you wear or you need to adjust your clothing budget expectation. It's the same thing with tracking your food. If you realize you're going way over every day on what you'd like to eat in fat or on calories or whatever, then you can either adjust your expectations or you can adjust what you're eating. And sometimes just the act of seeing what you're eating can help you make a change. And the thing I don't want you to do though is to track your food and then beat yourself up for it. Like, oh my gosh, I ate at McDonald's and now look at what I've done to my food I'm tracking. I just want to give up. No, don't do that. What you want to do is say, I ate at McDonald's, I put it in my tracker, and now I can physically see what that means in terms of calorie, fat, nutrient intake, and I don't want to do that anymore. And then you can start to make that change, but don't beat yourself up over it. But it is a really good tool. Okay, tip number 6, find a buddy. All right, and it doesn't have to be somebody in the office next to you, all right? The interwebs is full of ways you can do this. You can find someone on Craigslist if you need an in-person person. You can look at Facebook groups. If you want some suggestions, you can come to my Facebook group and ask me and I'll give you some suggestions of really good Facebook groups where you can come and find some buddies, people who will help you in the process. There's some really good groups out there that you can be a part of that will help answer your questions and hold you accountable. You can comment below and ask me any question you want, and I will help you the best that I can based on my experiences, and I'll help you stay on track if you need. So it's really important to find a buddy, even if it's just your spouse or your child. Like, I am doing this caffeine thing and my 15-year-old daughter is participating in it with me, and I love it. It's great to have her be there to support me in this whole caffeine thing. So find someone that you can connect with. So Sharman, talking to you. I expect a Facebook private message. Will you be my buddy? Okay. So next, now we're getting into the good ones, practical ones. What are you really gonna do? Quit giving me that stuff. Okay, down to the nitty gritty. Grocery stores. We want to stop for fast food all the time. I do too. I see Taco Bell, I'm like, yum, Taco Bell. Okay, so there's grocery stores everywhere, unless you live in a food desert, which I hope that you don't, but if you do, some of my later tips will help you. Grocery stores are everywhere, so if you're traveling and you're like, I need something to eat, you can stop at the grocery store. The grocery store will have fruits and vegetables, they will have hummus, they will have other yummy things that you can pick up really quickly and eat that's better for you than what you're gonna get at your local fast food restaurant. So don't discount grocery stores. When I'm traveling someplace, the first thing I do is Google how close the grocery stores are to my hotel room. And then I go to the grocery store and I buy snacks and I buy things for my room, because I know that having those available is going to keep me on track. And the same thing, my husband and I do this all the time. When we're driving someplace or whatever, we'll be like, oh, I'm hungry. And he'll say, well, let's just pull in here to the Kroger or the Publix or whatever, and let's grab some little snacks that we can eat that are healthy. Like, I might get lettuce and hummus, and then we'll have like lettuce burritos or something like that. So go to the grocery store. Think of it as a viable option when you're getting ready to stop and eat out. Number 4, stock your purse, stock your car, stock your job. Okay, so I live in Texas and it's a little, even though it's freezing right now, but normally it's a little too warm to keep things in my car. But if you live in a climate where that's not an issue, use your glove box. But I have a little backpack purse that I carry around, and a desk drawer. So keep things in your desk drawer and in your purse and maybe even in your glove box that you can use. Like a Luna bar is great because they last. Maybe a little baggie of nuts or raisins or dried figs or, you know, dried cranberries. Yummy, delicious. Just try to have something so that when you feel that I gotta eat right this second, you're not going to the vending machine, you can just pull out your little bag of craisins and snack on those. And sometimes those aren't even the most optimal choices, like a Luna bar or something, but it's a better choice than what you may be looking at. So I'm gonna say dried fruits, nuts, even though you should be eating nuts in limited quantities, but still a better choice. So dried fruits, nuts, and maybe some little bars. Like, and don't go crazy on the bar situation, but I like Luna bars personally, so I would suggest that the Luna bar, you can make homemade bars, you know, whatever, but have something always in your purse that you, or if you're not a lady, in your briefcase or in your desk drawer or in your attaché or whatever, that you can just grab and snack on. Okay, number three. Know what you can eat and make suggestions. So I think what happens to a lot of us is we're gonna have a work meeting or all our friends are gonna go out to eat and we don't want to be perceived as the nutto, so we don't make suggestions. Know what you can eat. Okay, so you don't have to necessarily suggest Health R Us for your, so you can suggest other places that maybe aren't so obvious. Okay, so like there's a really good vegan restaurant here in the town I live in, but it's all vegan food, and when I suggest this to people, they don't usually want to go because they're like, vegan food, right? Okay, so know what you can eat at other places. Like, where is the best place to go for you? So I know probably right offhand 10 restaurants that are just regular restaurants, and I know everything that I'm willing to eat on that menu. And so when people say, hey Heather, where do you want to eat? I say, ooh, let's go to Chuy's, which is a Mexican food restaurant where I live, because I know exactly what I can eat at Chuy's and that I'm going to have a great meal. Or if you can't do that, you can always call ahead to the restaurant. I've never one time called ahead to a restaurant and asked them about their menu and had them be snarky to me. They're always really nice and accommodating, and most people have it online now and just pick out. Let's say your boss says, we're gonna go to the steakhouse. Okay, it's tempting, right? Don't go to the steakhouse and get a steak and a loaded baked potato and a salad with bacon, okay? You don't have to do that. I've eaten at steakhouses before. You can get a plain baked potato, you could get a side of salad dressing, you can get a salad with lemon, you can get, sometimes they'll have other stuff on the menu that are accidentally vegan. And not that I'm saying you have to be vegan. I'm not trying to push that. You should be healthy though. And everybody knows that bacon is not a health food. And if you're trying to pretend that it is, you're just deluding yourself. So try to pick the best thing that you can. And the other day, my daughter had a science fair that I judged, and they ordered pizza. And there was just nothing there for me to eat. I couldn't eat any of it, but they also had a food tray, so I just ate the food tray. And when people kind of made fun of me, I just laughed back and said, I know, I'm crazy, right? Like, who wouldn't want pizza? But it works, it's fine. I just roll with the punches. And I also suggest places, and when I go out places, I make a plan for what I'm gonna eat when I'm there. And it usually works out pretty good for me. And I don't want you to feel like you have to be deprived, right? So what happens is we go to the steak food restaurant, steakhouse, whatever, and you can't get this steak and the loaded baked potato and everybody else is eating that, and you feel really jealous. You're like, man, I'd like to have a baked potato with sour cream too. But you wouldn't. That's not what they're eating isn't good for them. It may taste good for a few seconds to them, but it's not good. And if you give yourself just a couple of weeks, right? The first couple of weeks are hard. They're hard because you're so entrenched in the habits and the addiction, and everything to those kinds of foods. But once you get yourself past those first couple of weeks, you'll be fine. And you know that you can have delicious and decadent things if you just make a little bit of a plan. So here we go. I want to eat fast food. I am busy. I'm traveling. I'm driving around. I'm on my commute. What do? Know what you can eat. That's what you do. That's my number two tip. Know what you can eat. So I'm going to give you some examples. If you go to Wendy's, you can get a plain baked potato and some salad dressing. So you have to ask about the salad dressings because it's not always the same. But last time I checked, fat-free fat-free French was a good choice. And they also had a raspberry vinaigrette thing that was delicious when I had it last. And you just put the salad dressing on your potato. It sounds weird, but it's actually quite delicious. You can also get a side salad there with no croutons, no cheese, and some salad dressing. They also have mandarin orange fruit cup. So pretty much every fast food restaurant now has some kind of fruit selection. If it's apple slices or whatever, apple fries, and you can ask for those. If you go to Burger King, they have a veggie burger and you can just get it no cheese, no mayo, and it tastes pretty decent. If you go to Taco Bell, you can get bean burritos fresco style. You can get a 7-layer burrito. You can have the veggie Cantina Bell burrito with no sauce. There are tons of options at every fast food restaurant that you go to, with maybe the exception of McDonald's. But even there, you could get the oatmeal, the fruit oatmeal. You can also, they have fruit sticks, like apple slice sticks, and they have a side salad. So even at McDonald's, there's something you can choose, even though I don't suggest you eat there. But know that there are things you can eat at every fast food restaurant. So plan and know what those are. So when you're hungry and you're driving down the road, this happens to me, right? I have to go to Tyler, which is about 2 hours away on Saturday, about 2 Saturdays a month. And when I'm driving there, I sometimes, not there necessarily, but when I'm driving home, if I haven't packed enough food for myself, I'm starving. And so I have to pull in someplace. And I know what restaurants along there that I'm gonna be fine. They have Taco Bells, they have a Burger King, they have, you know, all of these Taco Bueno, these kind of restaurants that I can stop at and pick something. Okay, so my number one tip, what is the best tip ever? Well, besides packing your lunch, which you can do and isn't that hard or time consuming if you do it the night before when you're making dinner, is fruit. Fruit comes in its own container. It's called its peel. So just pack fruit with you. Have fruit with you. I take oranges and bananas almost everywhere I go. And if you're hungry, you just have an orange. I have a glut of apples right now that I got from my food co-op. So I just will throw 2 or 3 apples in a bag. My husband will sit there and munch on apples like crazy, gangbusters. So I just have them, and then when he says he's hungry, I just hand him an apple, right? Like it's easy to do. They're easy to carry. They're relatively inexpensive, and they're really good for you. So if you need a snack, have an apple, have an orange, have a banana. And I know people say that, and I think the hardest part is that we're so tempted by Cinnabon that a banana doesn't seem that appealing. But it can be, because you know that banana is better for you. So give yourself time to detox from the yucky food. Don't expect it to just happen, right? It's not going to just happen. You're still going to be tempted by Cinnabon, but give yourself time to get over it. And I know that eating healthy is more time consuming than not. And everybody who's online who tells you it's not more time consuming is a liar. It is, especially if you have a family and you're not accustomed to it. Because our perception is that going through the drive-thru is faster. But if you do just a few little modifications, it can be just as fast to eat healthy. Like planning on making rice ahead of time, or, you know, having a menu planned out so that you know on nights when you're going to be really busy, you know what you're going to be eating that day. And that makes it easier. It just does. So I hope this video helped you. I think I'm going to make another video specifically about what to eat at fast food restaurants in the coming weeks. But if you have any additional questions, let me know. Comment below if you liked what I said. Click like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later. Until then, live, eat, and be well.
I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and check out my Facebook page and website.